'Cause it's the sound of losing.
Are my eyes red because I'm tired or because I've been crying? Trick question, my eyes are tired of crying so much. Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon Perna, and I have literally watched the Denver Broncos play 3 of the worst games I have ever witnessed all in a row. Their offense has Chad Mustard 16, and 9 points in the last 3 games. So when I say worst, I mean painfully boring. Not worst like, hey, my team just lost in heartbreaking fashion in the playoffs. I'd be thrilled to watch this fucking team lose in the playoffs in the worst way possible. That's where Broncos fans are. It feels like the Broncos are taking 3.5 hours every week to try and convince us football is a bad and dumb sport. It's like they are begging us to stop watching this shit. Watching the Broncos is like sitting in the worst traffic jam of your life. Except when you get home, your house is burnt to a crisp and Geno Smith is fucking your wife. And he's getting the job done, even to his surprise. And congrats to Jets fans. Not for winning, but for surviving a Broncos game. Every fan of the opposing team who sits through an entire Broncos game should be given a $100 gift card to Walmart. Today, let's review Broncos-Jets, which was worse than what I thought was for sure the worst game I had ever seen. Whew.
Broncos, my old friend, I listened to the game again because I could not watch it on TV. It was just too painful for me, and the visions that were planted in my brain drove me insane. 62 yards for the touchdown. 'Cause it's the sound of losing. And in the highlight plays I saw, they could just do nothing at all. The new quarterback was just the same, like Russell Wilson, but without the fame. Broncos running plays that no team should ever try. It made me cry. It was the sound of losing. Through the years I felt alone, and with each loss my mind was blown. How can we lose with so much talent? All the great players and the money spent. But I guess we're now playing for a new draft pick. It makes me sick. This is the sound of losing.
Knocked away, and that will do it.
And that's how the Jets didn't lose to the Broncos. I don't even know if you can call beating the Broncos a win anymore. I do hope that song tricked you into thinking that there was anything good that occurred in this football game. It was bad for both teams. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, and if you need to stay awake through a Broncos game, check out my coffee. This is my coffee company, BenchwarmerBrew.com. Starting October 27th, I will have a special birthday bundle for you. It's a brand new mug we're launching, my coffee. So the 27th, benchwarmerbrew.com. I think the Jets do have a very good defense, like the Broncos, but somehow they have also learned how to win even though they get nothing from their quarterback either. Zach Wilson gets the win after producing 121 passing yards, no touchdowns, and no picks in this game. Besides making Cougars across the country have to sit in front of an industrial strength air dryer to keep their panties dry every time he steps on the field, he also has a knack for avoiding sacks, only to throw the ball away. He was sacked 3 times in this game, but he should have been sacked like 7, so credit there, Zach. And that was with the Broncos being down 2 of their top flight edge rushers. I'm not even knocking you, Jets. I'm not. I'm just jealous that you have managed to score 16, 27, 40, and 24 points with Zach Wilson in the last 4 games, even though he's only totaled 693 passing yards and 1 touchdown. Unlike the Broncos, it feels like when your team really, really needs a play, you figure out how to get one. Well, at least you were with Breece Hall, and that's coming to an end, unfortunately. The Jets may have blown out the Broncos had Breece Hall not suffered a torn ACL in this game. Another parallel between these two teams is that none of us can have nice things. Breece Hall and Javonte Williams both lost to the infirmary, and both Broncos and Jets fans have to deal with the media pontificating on whether or not they should trade for Kareem Hunt this season. I think this injury will eventually ruin your season, New York, unless Zach Wilson gets a hell of a lot better very quickly. He may like his wine and his women aged at least 50 years, but he needs to accelerate his learning curve now. Unfortunately, because we can't have nice things, the Broncos also lost their star edge rusher, Baron Browning, for a number of weeks with a hip injury. When it rains, it fucking pours, and the Broncos' injury list has been as bad as possible. I talked to Derek Wolfe after the game, and he said that the Broncos and the Ravens had 2 of the worst injury situations in the league. The Broncos were probably too soft in training camp, while the Ravens went too hard. And here we are. Isn't that crazy that the best practice for practicing is somewhere in the middle? The extreme sides will get you nowhere. Now to my Broncos. Thank God we have Russell Wilson, because if we didn't, Broncos fans, we'd have 0 highlights from this season.
Let's ride.
Be careful though, it's spicy.
Here comes the airplane. Broncos country, let's ride.
Oh, no, I'm serious. Imagine how unentertaining Broncos football would be without that stuff. Russ did not play, of course, due to a partially torn hamstring, so Brett Grip It and Rip It went in for him. If Brett Rippen's job was to increase Jerry Jeudy's trade value, he nailed it. There's a rule here in Denver where you can only have 1 offensive player having a good game. And credit to Jeudy for showing out for his future team with 7 receptions of 96 yards. The Broncos punted 6 times and the Jets added another 8 of their own. That's remarkable. And as a matter of fact, I've just been notified that Braden Mann and Corliss Waitman have just been named honorary members of the USA Men's World Cup team. Congratulations, fellas. The best punt came when Braden Mann dropped 1 perfectly at the 1. And the craziest part is Denver actually managed to get a field goal on the ensuing drive. Is a great punt more entertaining than a field goal? As someone who has seen this play happen to the Broncos every week this season, I say yes. The Broncos only managed 9 points in this game, but the good news is that it wasn't just 3 field goals. The offense did punch the ball in from the goal line when Latavius Murray scored his first touchdown as a Bronco. But in extremely Broncos fashion, Brandon McManus missed the extra point. The hold was bad, which is also fitting for this team. McManus also missed a 56-yarder that appeared to get swept away in the wind. Give the Broncos those 4 points, and they still lose this game. One of the biggest gripes I had with this game aside from my own team, my own offense sucking, was that Sauce Gardner was manhandling our receivers at times and didn't get called for pass interference once. Our corner, Damari Mathis, got flagged 4 times for defensive pass interference against the Chargers. But meanwhile, Courtland Sutton is getting smothered in sauce and can't draw a single flag. I think this has a lot to do with reputation. Big time corners don't get calls. And you can say the same about Pat Surtain at times. While the refs assume no-name corners are always grabbing because they're out of position. And they're quick to toss some laundry. I especially thought Gardner could have been flagged on what was essentially the biggest play of the game when Brett Rypien did grip it and then rip it down the right sideline to Courtland Sutton on 4th down. There was a lot of hand fighting going on before the pass got there, and when the pass did arrive, Sauce is ripping the back of Sutton's jersey at the neck. Sauce was also pulling on Judy well before the ball arrived on a different play. Now, I don't blame the ref for the loss. I really don't, okay? We're bad. But if this shit is not pass interference, what the fuck was Damari Mathis doing a week ago that was? The NFL's got a problem. The Broncos have a hard enough time scoring. We don't need the goddamn zebras making it harder. That's 2 first and goals the refs took away from a team that can't score. That's like making an ugly ass dude who is 6'3", 5'4". No chance of scoring ever again. The Broncos offense right now has the firepower of this hot dog cannon. But the refs, they let them play, and that's fine. We just need consistency out there, and we cannot favor superstars like it's the NBA. At least the officials weren't asking Sauce for autographs after the game, though. And at least Sauce wasn't trolling the Broncos like he did to the Packers. Thank you for that, Sauce. I mean, what would he have done, though? Worn a Walmart vest? Stuck some Great Value brand American sliced cheese on his head? Actually, that would have been pretty good, Sauce. I also have no idea how the officials didn't rule this Zach Wilson fumble a fumble. The ball is loose before Wilson's forearm goes down. They also blow the play dead, which they're not supposed to do. This was a defensive touchdown, and this was a fumble, and instead we got fourth down Jets. That's like waking up Christmas morning, opening that big shiny present that Santa brought you, unwrapping the gift box just to read a little piece of paper that says, "While you were sleeping, I murdered your mom and dad." Don't take my word for it. This is just Gene Steratore, former NFL official, saying this checks all the boxes to say Zach Wilson's not down.
I don't think you're down by contact right there, right? So we just have a hand there on the ball, and then when he rotates, the ball is now loose. So that initial touch now is disregarded.
Ultimately, the Broncos targeted Sauce 10 times on Sunday, and he only allowed 4 receptions for 16 yards. And I'm not sure why they decided to test him so often, but DJ Reed was so damn good on the other side that they had to throw at one of them, and it didn't work no matter what they did, which is not surprising. I think the performance of those corners and the defense as a whole is a testament to just how good this Jets team is outside of their quarterback. Zach Wilson has done little to nothing the last 2 weeks and collected a pair of road wins against the Packers and the Broncos. The only thing he truly did well in this game was look slippery. Kind of how Russell Wilson used to look, avoiding sacks. And also handing the ball off to Breece Hall for that touchdown. Zach Wilson was great on that handoff, as I recall. If the Jets can figure out how to get Wilson going or just find any sort of rhythm in the pass game, this team could be very dangerous and probably only lose to the Bills by 2 touchdowns. I do have to appreciate some of the audio work by Ian Eagle in this game. After the long touchdown by Breece Hall, Eagle dropped a
Breece Lightning!
And later, on the game-sealing play, pass interference or not, Eagle hit us with a
Courtland Sutton got lost in the sauce.
As a cunning linguist myself, I have to appreciate that kind of wordplay from a CBS announcer. Maybe now that Ian Eagle's 25-year-old son is doing games for Fox, Daddy Eagle feels like he's got to grab the spotlight back from his little nestling. Now, in conclusion, I demand that the Denver Broncos get a new head coach every week until we fix this shit. And by fix this shit, I mean score 2 touchdowns in a game. I don't even care if we win. How can I use cool-ass nicknames suggested to me in the chat like, it's not a wave, get caught in the riptide, baby? When all my team does is lose. I can't even do nicknames. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. Check out the best and worst episode where I recap all of the NFL games from this week. And tomorrow I'll have the power rankings, which should be pretty wild.